Well, hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and following me along as I bake in the Great British Baking Show Kitchen Classics Cookbook. I hope that you have all bought this cookbook and that you are baking these recipes as well. I would love to hear about it. So we're going to just jump right in and talk about today's bake. So I decided to go over to the patisserie section and I have made ginger financiers. I had never heard of financiers before. This particular one is ginger, but you can make them in different flavors, obviously, chocolate, on and on and on, as you'll see in the show. But I didn't realize the name financier. The reason they're called that is because they're baked to resemble little gold bars. Money, wealth, you get it. So, I wanted to dive into some ginger recipes because evidently they really like ginger over there. The Brits love their ginger. I personally have never been a huge fan of ginger. I didn't hate it necessarily. It's just not a flavor that I go to or that I, bake with a lot. So there were some ingredients that I had to order online and ingredients that I've heard them mention in the show. And I was like, what is that? So now I know. One of those is ginger stem, and you will find out what that is when you see me going through the process. So they're a beautiful little cake. They would be great for a tea party or just some little small goodie to eat. I really liked them. I was very surprised that I liked them so much. So you bake them or watch me bake them, and then we'll talk about it in just a little bit.
So that's what the ginger financiers look like in the book. And I've got my ingredients ready to start, but I wanted to show you this little thing. This is stem ginger. I hear it all the time on the show. It's just little balls of candied ginger in syrup. That's what it is right there. So we're going to have to make some browned butter for this recipe. I never made it before, so you have to really keep your eye on it, and that's what you want to get the color to look like when you're making browned butter. So I'm going to sift all my dry ingredients and put in some the brown butter to make the cake batter. And I have put it in the financier pans that I have. You can see I filled it right up to the top because that's what it said to do on the pan. So I'm putting a little flaked almond there, and I'm going to pop them in the oven. And this is what they turned out. Unfortunately, because I filled them all the way up to the top, it left like this overflow around the edges. That's just some ginger syrup I'm going to put on there because they're warm. But I didn't like the way that looked. It was very uneven and messy looking. So I thought, what can I do? So I took my kitchen scissors and I just trimmed off the excess. So it made them up a little bit neater. And I really liked the way that turned out. So I'm going to make another batch and not fill them quite as full as you'll see here. So the bars came out a lot smaller, and of course I forgot to put the almonds on this time. But they looked a little neater. I didn't have to trim them. And so on the top, I'm going to decorate with some icing sugar and some candied ginger, which is what that is right there. Just chopped it up finely and put that with my icing sugar, and there you go. That's the ginger financiers. I think they turned out really, really lovely, and they taste really good. A little nice warmth with the ginger in there. So I may have become a ginger fan. I don't know. You should make these for a tea party or a little get together. So that's a little photo that you can see up close.
So there you go, ginger financiers. I hope that you learned a few things by following me along, and that has encouraged you to bake them as well. Some hits and misses, obviously, and I've written these down so I don't forget them. The last batch that I made, the second one that were smaller, I forgot to put the almonds. You want to make sure that you do that, obviously, before you bake them. And I got more out of my batter than they called for, but I think it's just because I did two different sizes with my pan. And my pan is a financier pan. I've seen one of the contestants use it. I think Tasha used it on this particular season, but some of the other contestants use a deeper one, so you get that little deeper bar. Mine was more shallow, so I'm not sure what is correct, but I think it's just getting the bar shape is the most important thing. So whatever you have, use that. My bake time was a little less than they called for. because I think they were thinner. So just keep an eye on them because everybody's stove is different. Everybody's ovens are different. So just eye your oven and get a good temperature. I thought they were delightful. They were soft in the middle, a little sticky with the syrup, which was really yummy on the top. Very nutty flavor to it with the browned butter. And I was so happy because that's the first time I've ever made browned butter. I know. I was always afraid I would burn it, but it worked out great, and it really does give a great flavor. So make the Ginger Financiers, get the cookbook, and try it out. And I'll be seeing you soon.